video had over 500 comments, over 5,000 saves, and another 800 people who actually shared the video. This particular video got over 500,000 views. Now, every single comment counts as one piece of engagement, and the more engagement you have, the more likely TikTok algorithm is going to pick that up. Today, we're going to be covering 15 of the different elements that help me make my TikTok videos go viral, including your content calendar, analytics, and viral pros and cons. Each one of these elements builds upon one another, so I highly recommend you watching from the start all the way through to the very end, so you've got the collective picture so that after this video, you can go and make your own viral TikTok videos. Hi tutor bosses, I'm Lisa. I help tutors start and scale your tutoring businesses. I've created TikTok videos that have gotten millions of views, and I've developed my own TikTok system to consistently get hundreds of comments and engagements. Now, if you're a tutor who wants to get started on TikTok, then keep watching this video. And if you have any friends who are tutors as well who also want to get started on TikTok, then make sure you share this video with them too. My first piece of advice before you even get started filming is making sure you get the timing right so you can create a viral TikTok video. For majority of tutors, you follow the school calendar year. There will be peaks and troughs throughout the calendar year. For example, there will be peaks during examination periods and there will be troughs during summer holidays. Now, what this means for us as tutors is during peak seasons, students are going to be looking at advice so that they can study for the exams or for their assessments. So what will happen is you're going to have a big increase in volume in people finding you. If you know there is a busy season for the subject you tutor, then I would encourage you to really increase the number of videos you publish during that time. By increasing the number of videos you publish during that popular period of time, you're going to increase your opportunity to get exposure to all the students who are looking for help. So for example, for these 5 videos, I actually increased the volume of which I was posting because I knew that it was a busy period for students who are about to sit their exams. These 5 videos were published within days of each other, as opposed to previously where I'd only publish 1 video per week. So my piece of advice here is watch out for timing. Understand when students are looking for help and increase your efforts of being able to help them during that period too. You're going to find that you're going to get a much better result with your videos as opposed to an alternative strategy where you're posting multiple times a day during school holidays when people aren't really studying. Next, a key element that will help your TikTok videos go viral is relevance. For example, when people study the VCE, which is our equivalent of A-levels or SATs in Australia, students have to sit an examination called the GAT. Now for the GAT, it was to be held in September. And so rather than publishing videos about the GAT in January, I made sure that I started posting videos about the GAT at the end of August when that topic started to be of relevance for the students and when they were starting to think about it and starting to get concerned and had questions about it. And because I filmed relevant videos for these students at the right time, it meant that I had a lot more engagement in my videos. This video had over 500 comments, with lots of students actually tagging other students because it was relevant to them, over 5,000 saves, and another 800 people who actually shared the video with their friends. So by making sure that I combined both timing and relevance, I increased my chances of my video going viral. Next, one thing that helped me make viral TikTok videos was using my followers' questions as topic ideas. So rather than relying on myself and coming up with my own ideas, what I would do is I would actually go through the comments and see what the students were asking of me. In doing so, I'm actually making sure that I'm creating content that is relevant for the student. And if it's relevant for the student, then that means that they're going to get more value out of the video. And when they get more value out of video, it increases the chances of your video getting higher engagement, whether it be the student tagging other students in the comment section, whether it be them saving the video or sharing the video with their friends. All of these pieces of engagement actually drive up the traffic, which increases your video's chance of going viral. By the way, if you're already finding this video helpful, I just want to let you know that I've just released the biggest mistakes I've made making my first 6 figures in my tutoring business. I list down a whole suite of mistakes I made and lessons I've learned, which I think are important for you, especially if you're a tutor, to know so that you don't make the same mistakes I did. So go ahead and download it. It's completely free, but you could be saving yourself hours, weeks, or even months going down the wrong path and making an unnecessary mistake. Next, the first 5 videos of your TikTok video are crucial for it to become viral. When I was scripting my videos, I actually spent the most time preparing for the first 5 seconds of each video. This would be about 1 or 2 sentences, and I knew that this was my only chance to hook in the audience to keep watching my video before they scrolled ahead. So you can see in this video, I've said, I'm going to teach you in 2 minutes or less how you can get 10 out of 10 for your written written task 2 in section B of the gap. That is my 5-second hook. Now you can see from the retention rate analytics, retention meaning how long people actually stay watching your video, that the retention rate at the beginning of the video is at its highest because that's when people just landed on your video. But naturally, it reduces over time. So your mission as a TikTok creator is to try to get as many people staying on board watching your video for as long as possible. So the way I created my hook was by delivering a promise. So for this video, I promised them what to do the day before the VC English exam. Here's what you should be doing. So the people who watch this video know that I've promised them I'm going to tell them exactly what they need to be doing the day before the English exam. And what's most important here is that you actually go and fulfill that promise. We're not here just to clickbait and then go on and talk about something completely different, because that's definitely going to drop your retention rate. People will jump out of the video, especially when they feel like they're not getting the value of which they were promised. And you want to make sure that you really deliver to them a juicy promise, something that's going to be of high value to your followers. Next, here's the TikTok hashtag strategy that helped me generate 100,000 views on my viral videos. All I do is I type in the keywords I think my potential students would be looking for when they're searching up answers for their questions. So for example, because my topic in this particular video was about the VCE exam, I made sure that I had VCE exam in my hashtag as well. Now, as part of the VCE exam, people will have questions on different topics. Those topics are the VCE comparative, analyzing argument, and text response. So the easiest way for you to do this in your own tutoring business is to think about what would people be typing in when they're trying to search for an answer to their question. The idea is that once they type that in, because you have those exact same keywords in your own hashtags, you're going to rank for those hashtags and you'll appear and be able to serve and deliver value to them. Next, here are the CTAs that helped me create viral TikTok videos that generated me over 100,000 views. In every single piece of content you publish, whether it be on TikTok or elsewhere, you always need to have a call to action. A call to action is essentially the next step people should take. Now, your call to action should be based on what your overall goal is in publishing that piece of content. So for us, when we were publishing these videos at this point in time, the goal was just to get more followers. So at the end of each video, I would always have a stamp in the video saying follow for more VC English tips. For you, if you want people to take the next step and book in a call with you, then it could be book in your free consultation call. If you want people to join your mailing list, it could be go to my link in bio and join my mailing list. If you're just here to collect data from your followers and get an idea of content you could be creating next, then you could say comment below with your questions. Call to actions should be really straightforward and concise. It should never be more than a phrase. A sentence is way too long. And what this does is it encourages your followers to keep interacting with your business. The longer your followers interact with your business, the more they're actually being nurtured by you, and therefore the more likely they will convert and purchase an offer you have available. We talk a lot about the attention economy, and this is all a competitive game to get as much attention, as many eyeballs for as long as possible on your business. Let's talk about algorithm hacks to help you make viral TikTok videos. I'm a big believer that you can't make viral TikTok videos unless you're actually a consumer of TikTok. TikTok is a platform when things change very quickly. There is a lot of nuance in what actually happens in the world of TikTok, from trending sounds, video editing styles, and hot topics. When I first started out in TikTok, I really wanted to understand the native landscape of TikTok so that I could optimize my chances of doing well on the platform. What I've noticed is if I create a video on YouTube and then I publish it on TikTok, it definitely doesn't do as well as a native TikTok video. So if you're somebody who wants to take TikTok seriously, then I highly encourage you to make it part of your working process to actually engage on the platform, to watch videos, keep an eye out on what actually stands out to you and what doesn't, and start replicating the elements you see in top performing videos for your own videos. Next, to help me create viral TikTok videos, I actually did not batch produce. What I find when you batch produce is that your learning is actually slower. Let's say you film 10 videos on a Friday, you only have the knowledge you have up until that Friday. But if you create one video on the Friday, publish it, learn from the data, iterate, and make improvements for the next video to be published on Saturday, and you rinse and repeat for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that's already 1 week's worth of iterations and improvements you've made for your TikTok videos to help you increase your chances of creating a viral video. Now for me, I found that because people would comment on my videos as soon as it got published, by creating the next video in response to one of those comments, I actually increased my engagement with my audience because it felt like I was present. It felt like I'm here right with you, responding in real time. This creates more of a communal feeling and it shows your audience that you care about them. This is actually a tactic I showed to a couple of my clients, Jake and Stefan, both of whom didn't batch produce in the beginning, but actually iterated on every single video. And as a result, Jake has created videos that have reached over 500,000 views, and Stefan reached his goal of hitting 1,000 followers within a month. Next, never underestimate the value of community engagement with your TikTok videos. With my TikTok videos, I always try to leave the first comment on the videos. What this does is it helps to encourage community engagement. Sometimes people don't know what to write down, but if you have a prompt for them, then that can encourage more people to actually leave comments on your videos. Now, every single comment counts as one piece of engagement, and the more engagement you have, the more likely TikTok algorithm is going to pick that up. And because it's seeing that people are engaging with your video and they're liking it, it's going to start pushing your video out to even more people. So you're just doing what you can to encourage that engagement to start happening. Where possible, I also reply to commenters. It gets a bit hard when you've got viral videos to comment back to every single person that's out there, but my aim is to always try to engage with the community as soon as a video drops. When people can see you in the comment section just after a video has been dropped, it creates an extra incentivization for that person to leave a comment because they hope that you'll actually respond to them. A lot of people ignore their comment section, so I would really encourage you to take advantage of it because the more engagement you can get from it, the higher of a chance your video has to actually go viral. Next, let's look at TikTok analytics and see how we can use them to help our videos go viral. Now, when it comes to data analysis, you have to understand that it's not just about the numbers. You have to read between the lines because how you interpret the data can make all of the difference. For example, if I look at this particular video in my personal TikTok, you can see that it has 2,000 views compared to some of my more popular topics that have 40,000 views or 11,000 views. And so from the outset, if we look at the view count, it doesn't look like it's actually doing that great. People don't seem to be particularly interested in me reviewing books. But if I actually then go into the analytics side of things, what you can see is that while the view count isn't that high, you can see that 46 people have actually saved this video. Compare this to this video here, where 49 people have actually saved this video. So although this video had 11,000 views and this video had 2,000 views, they both had roughly the same number of people who actually saved them and found value from the videos. So what this tells me as a content creator is that it's not just about the views themselves. You have to take into consideration other factors like comments, watch time, saves, shares, the demographics of who's watching your videos. And so for me in the future, this doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to completely stop doing any pieces of content where I talk about the lessons I've learned from books. Maybe it just means I need to get better at actually hooking in the viewer within the first 5 seconds. Maybe I could fix up my thumbnail so that it's more appealing to my audience. So the message I want you to understand here is that data interpretation is an art form within itself. Don't just look at individual numbers and take them at face value. Next, remember progress over perfection when creating content. Just like what you see here with Jake, as soon as you land on his page, you think to yourself, wow, this guy's really successful. He's got 19,000 followers. He's got videos that have almost hit 1 million views. But one big thing Jake and I did in the very beginning was we actually iterated and tested. Jake had to start from 0 followers with 0 views at some point in time, just like all of us. And so in the beginning, you can see that he didn't have as many views, but this didn't actually stop him from creating more content. And by creating more content over time, you can see that by iterating, by experimenting, that his views started to pick up and he really started to find his groove. In the beginning, we were just trying all sorts of different formats to see which one would actually stick for Jake. But eventually, Jake realized that having a whiteboard behind him was actually what got him the most views. So this is what we ultimately stuck with and what he seems to have stuck with all the way until now. Congrats, Jake. You're doing such an amazing job. So my lesson here is if you feel like you've had a video that's flopped, don't give up. Progress is always better than perfection. You're never gonna be perfect, but you can always continue to improve. Next, let's talk about TikTok viral video pros and cons. A bit of real talk. Even though we've talked so much about going viral in this video, going viral isn't necessarily the be all and end all. Of course, going viral is amazing because you get to reach new audiences and you get that dopamine hit of getting lots of views and lots of engagement. However, there are are cons when it comes to viral videos. First, because TikTok is pushing you to a wider audience, what you might find is that you don't actually end up getting your dream student persona watching your videos. And so, even though your video might get lots of views, if your aim is to try to get them to book in a free consult call, you might find that a video that gets 1 million views only gets you 10 calls booked, whereas another video that only has 1,000 views could also generate you 10 calls booked because it's actually hitting the right audience. And the reason why I'm telling you this is to let you know that just because your video doesn't go viral doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. Think about your marketing funnel and think about your ultimate goal of why you're actually creating this piece of content. That's what you should measure to know whether or not your video is doing well for your business or not. The other thing I've noticed with virality is once TikTok starts pushing your video to audiences that aren't your typical, you actually start to get a lot more negative comments from people who don't know you at all. It's very easy for people who have never seen you to judge you, and I've had this experience firsthand with this particular video where I talk about how much I made and spent in one day as a coach. This particular video got over 500,000 views. Now, if you're a part of my audience and you know anything about me, you know that I'm really big on investing in myself. And so this video was about how much I spent on a coach. But of course, as more and more people watched this video, people didn't know who I was, people didn't know my rationale behind the decision I made. In spite of the comments being very positive in the beginning because it was my audience who knew me, the comments actually started to become more sour and negative as time went on. So although virality is very exciting for your business, it can also be quite hard as the content creator because you're getting all these comments from people who are saying all these negative things about you. But my tip here is just to recognize when it is happening and that it will blow over. After a few days, no one's even going to care about your video anymore because we live in such a fast-paced content generation world. The more viral videos you make, the more of these comments you'll face and the better you'll get at actually overcoming them and not taking them too personally. Ultimately, even the negative comments are still engagement for your video. So that engagement is what ultimately drives TikTok to actually push you to even more people. Next, in spite of us talking so much about virality, your goal shouldn't be just to become viral. It's not just about the view. It's so easy to focus on the view count for your videos, but that shouldn't be the main metric you're after. The main metric you should be focusing on are your conversions. If you have a video that has 1,000 views and you get 5 people signing up to your tutoring versus a video that has 500,000 views and only 1 person that signed up to tutoring, which would you rather? The simplistic answer is this one over here where you're actually able to sign on more students. Of course, there's a nuance to it in that with this other video, you've been exposed to more people and therefore you might get more followers as a result, and over time as you nurture them, you may actually generate even more signups. My message here is to understand the value of both types of videos. Ones that don't necessarily get as many views, perhaps these are the types that are designed to be more nurturing of your audience to get them to convert with you, as opposed to the ones where you're focusing on virality because your goal there is to try to reach as many people as possible with the intention of nurturing them with these videos over here later on to eventually get them to convert. So I'd love to know which chapter in this video did you find most helpful for your tutoring business. If you watched all the way until the end of this video, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. If you want to learn more on how to market your tutoring business, I've got a video here where I cover Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and I actually go through a tutor's Instagram and give them specific advice on how they can actually improve their profile. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.